Hello, I'm Kirsty, or _diamond painter. Welcome to my channel. This is hopefully going to be the first in a series of WIP Chats for this year. I did a few during the Wisdom World DP Along event in May last year, and I really enjoyed them, so I wanted to do some more. Speaking of the event, I will be hosting it again this year, so if you like Harry Potter or Fantastic Beasts, come join me. I will leave a link to the Instagram post explaining all the rules and things in the description. The rules are slightly different to last year. I've also included an extra challenge just for fun for this year. So I will do a video about that, explaining in more detail nearer the time. But for now, you can check out the Instagram post or ask me any questions if you have any. So today I'm going to be working on the Mushroom Witch from Bella Art Diamonds. This is what the final artwork will look like. I'm obviously working on the top part here. It is a little bit cut off, but this is the part I'm working on. I'm also a brand ambassador for Nicole, Bella Art Diamonds now, which is really exciting. I'm super happy that they gave me the opportunity to do that, and yeah, I'm excited to see what 2025 brings in terms of content. So I kit up into trays, also from Bella Art Nicole. I do love their products. Part of the reason why I applied to be a brand ambassador for them. There's a few colours that there weren't many of, just obviously because they don't appear that often in the kit. So they have gone into the little art dot jars. I will be using this pen from Butterfly Effect Wares. I can't remember what they called this one. It's like Forest Fairy or something like that. It's very, very pretty though. And then I've got the stainless steel tips from Diamond Art Club. Also, if you notice the putty in here, need to clean that up a little bit really. But I am using Cork, the Nectar of the God Sense, and this is from Swartz Designs. Okay, so let's get the first colour. It's my max tray for this one. For all the background colours are basically max trays. As you'd expect, it's a very solid colour background. This is also, if you can see this in the shot, the tray caddy, so my large trays fit into here. Just means I can have them, this is all connected with magnets, I can have them on here without having to hold them, they're not going to slide anywhere. Obviously the max tray doesn't fit in that. They do a max tray caddy, I just don't have one yet. So I just balance it on top and hope for the best, which is probably not the best way of doing things, but it's worked so far. So during these WIP Chats, I'm going to hopefully do them monthly. I can't remember if I've said that already or not. Who knows? But I think I've said this before when I was doing them. The only thing about these WIP Chats, I can't multitask. So if I'm placing drills, I stop talking. If I'm talking, I stop placing drills. I can't seem to get the balance of doing them both at the same time. I do have some notes on what I want to talk about, just to try and help me keep on track. And if you see a jump between progress on the kit, it's probably because I've just sat here not saying anything for a while, and you don't want to watch that really. So I'm going to try and do these monthly and kind of use them as a catch up on what I've done for the previous month, both diamond painting related, so what kits I've worked on, events, things I've bought like accessories, and also personal life things. So anything exciting that has happened in my life. Not that anything exciting happens too often, so it's probably not going to be much of that. But we'll see. So obviously, first year of the month. It's been an interesting one. It's simultaneously gone incredibly quick and been the longest month of the past few years. I don't know if anyone else also feels that way. So I went back to work on the 2nd of January. For those that haven't been here before or don't know, I'm a full-time designer. I work for a media business. We do magazines, business-to-business magazines. We also run trade shows and industry awards. So I've, for the past few years, pretty much exclusively been working on the trade shows and the awards. Although this year I have moved back to the magazines a little bit as well. We're launching a new magazine in, well, I say new, we're launching the same magazine but overseas. So I have taken leadership on that one, which is exciting. And then we've also launched trade shows overseas. So I'm assisting with those, although we did get another designer. We hired another designer to help because my workload was just increasing more and more. And I needed the help. So yeah, I went back to work on the 2nd of January. I think we had like 4 days of working before we then had a company-wide training away day type thing. Although we keep calling it an away day, we were actually away for 4 days. So it was more of an away week. Stick. I feel like the putty is too fresh still, so the drills aren't sticking as well as they should sometimes. So yeah, we went away, I think it was like Tuesday evening we left, and then we came back Friday late morning, something like that. We have 3 offices within the UK, so this was pretty much a chance for all 3 offices to come together, catch up with each other, because we don't really see each other in person. We talk over emails on the phone all the time, but we don't see each other outside of the events that we host. And even then, not everyone goes to all events. So it was really nice to see everyone. We did workshops, so we did actually do work over those 4 days. And we also had a lot of fun. So the first full day had morning of workshops, and then we had like a 3-hour lunch break or something like that. Basically so that it's a very male heavy company, and a lot of them are football fans. So they had a football tournament. I am not big into football. I'm not into football at all, really. So there was, me and a couple of others found one of the rooms on the top floor. I think I forgot to say, but we were staying in a really beautiful house in the middle of nowhere. It was like a 14-bedroom mansion type thing, really, really pretty. So me and a few others found one of the rooms at the top of the house that overlooked where they were playing football and stood by the radiator watching them. So that was actually really nice. We had the window open for a little bit so that we could kind of hear what they were saying or shouting at each other, but it got too cold, so we closed that and just snuggled by the radiator. So we did that on the first day, and then we had like a quiz and a few other fun things that evening and afternoon. Obviously there was about 40 of us there, I'd say. We all needed to be fed. So one of my colleagues is actually an ex-chef. So he is used to cooking for large amounts of people. he very, very kindly offered to cook for everyone. And I quite like cooking. Always have done, cooking and baking, to be honest. He needed a few people to help him, so naturally I offered, because I was more than happy to help. And it was actually quite fun to cook for that amount of people. I say it as if I was just following his orders. So he needed something chopping, I'd chop it. He wanted a stock made, I'd make the stock. Yeah, he told me what to do and how much he needed, I'd go and do it, but I still feel like it was teamwork, you know? And it was so much fun to cook for that amount of people. I think the most I'd cooked for before was 3 people, maybe, 4 at a push. So that was a fun experience. And then the second day we had some presentations from the directors, just catching everyone up on the boring business side of things. And then we had another very long lunch break. We were meant to do a tennis tournament and a table tennis tournament, but it had actually been snowing the day before. Incredibly pretty, especially when you're in the middle of nowhere, so all the snow settles because there's no one to disturb it. It's not like we were on a main road where there's cars constantly up and down or anything. So it looked really pretty, but it did mean that it was absolutely freezing outside. No one really wanted to go out to play tennis. And also the tennis court was in the shade, so it was still a little bit frosty. And we were like, nah, we do not want to fall over. And it was just, yeah, too cold. But we did the table tennis tournament, as that was inside. And I lost my first round. So one of the offices have got a table tennis table, I guess you call it, in their office, so they get a lot of practice. And I was up against one of those people for my first round. So I feel like I had a bit of a disadvantage to start with, you know. If I'd been against someone that had not played table tennis very often, I feel like maybe I would have stood a bit of a chance, but yeah. It was still fun to watch. So that was that day. I don't really remember what we did that afternoon. I don't think we really had anything specific planned. It was just kind of everyone did their own thing until dinner. And then after dinner we did like company awards. Very informal awards, not like the ones that we actually put on for the industries that we work in. And it was like an award for the best salesperson of the year, things like that. And I actually won something. So I won the Unsung Hero Award for 2024, which was really nice. So I got an Amazon voucher, which I then spent within a few days. And I got a certificate as well. It was just nice to be recognised when, like, generally day to day, of course people say thank you for doing something if they've asked you to do something, but you don't get a super high amount of recognition just day to day. So that was, yeah, really nice for them to award me that. And then we also had karaoke in the evening, which was hilarious. It was a very late night, but it was fun. So yeah, and it was, as I say, great to see all the others that we don't see very often. I think it was Saturday evening. I just started to feel really kind of drained. Just gonna change this because it's probably going to be really noisy. So yeah, Saturday evening I just felt really, really drained. Had no energy at all, like even less than when I got back on the Friday. And then on the Sunday I woke up, and it's kind of hard to describe, but I didn't feel ill, but my body did. I don't know, it's weird. It happens after, like, whenever we do our biggest event of the year. That's a 2-day event, very long days, stood up most of it. And the same thing happens when I come back from them. Like, it's almost like my body's pretending to be ill just to make me do nothing for a couple of days to recover the energy that I spent. Are you gonna stay? There we go. So yeah, that was my Sunday, and then back to work on Monday. So it was a bit chaotic, but it was also fun. So other things that I did, what else did I do in January? I'm not one for the gym. Again, I'm sure many of you can relate to this. I have always wanted to do some kind of weight, I don't know, weight training is maybe the wrong word. I've always wanted to do exercise with weights, just to build strength, not to kind of build muscle or anything like that, just to know that if there's a heavy bag of shopping, I'm going to be able to lift it and not be really out of breath or struggling. Which sounds, probably making it sound like I'm weaker than I am. But yeah, so a fitness class that I go to has started doing a barbells class as well. It's basically a 45-minute workout using low weights. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give that a go, because I will never go to a gym. Just the thought of going into somewhere where there's all these people lifting, not even lifting heavy weights, just being good at what they're doing at the gym, it's just a bit intimidating for me, you know. So being able to go to a class where I know everyone already, because I've been going there quite a few years now, I know it's going to be fun and not taken really seriously, but I also get the benefit of doing the weights from it. So I gave that a go. It's actually really fun. As I said, it's a 45-minute class. You get a break about halfway through, but the bar is 2 kilograms, and then I'm only using the lowest weight plates. They are 1.5 kilos each, so it's 5 kilo bar in total. And then you do different routines to music. Yeah, really kind of low impact, just not to build muscle, to build kind of strength, I guess. Not like bodybuilding. So yeah, that's been really fun. I've done a couple of those sessions now, and it seems to be going well. Maybe I will move up to the next weight. I think they've got 3 different weights for the plates. They've got the 1.5, which is what I'm using at the moment, a 2.5, and a 3.5 or 4. I can't remember which one it is. Definitely won't be doing the heaviest one anytime soon. But I'm doing alright with the lowest weight, so we shall see. What else happened this month? Diamond painting wise, I finished one canvas. That was blue from Bella Art Diamonds. Really, really beautiful canvas. I absolutely love the colour blue anyway, it's my favourite colour. So maybe I'm a little bit biased, but it was very enjoyable. I also swapped one of the blues in her hair out, so rather than it being just a standard blue colour, I swapped it out for the corresponding sparkle dust. And yeah, it is a lovely finish. I will put a photo of it up here so you can see. if you haven't seen it on my socials anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much been my month. Purchase wise, I've not made that many purchases for diamond painting this month. I'm on, I don't want to say a no buy because that's not true for actual diamond painting kits, but I do want to reduce my stash, which is something I wanted to do last year. Last year I ended up ending on the same as what I started the year with, so the no buy didn't really work. I do blame all of the Harry Potter kits that were released by Diamond Art Club for that though. The poster kits, that is, because they don't count as kits, right? If you've got the first ones and you know you're collecting them, you can't not get them. That was my excuse anyway. But go in. No, this one does not want to go in. I need to reduce the amount of putty in there. Oh, no, that one just doesn't want to go in anyway. Okay. I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the no buy. So this year I do want to actually reduce my stash. So I don't know if anyone saw last year, there were like the stash down events. I'm basically doing that for myself again, but being a lot stricter on it. So the stash down event, if you bought a kit, you got -1 point. If I buy a kit, I'm giving myself -2 points. I've got 40, I want to say, in my stash at the moment, including WIPs. I want to get it down to around 20. The way I store them, I keep them in the boxes for like, and I've got an open underbed. Is that the right word? I don't know. Underneath my bed is open, basically, and I store them under there, but only in a certain area, so there's room for 15 boxes. So I kind of want to get it down eventually just to those 15 and then not buy anything until I work on one and there's a space there. But for now, I'm just trying to get it down to roughly half what it currently is. So yeah, not buying any kits. If there was one that I really, really loved and knew that I didn't want to miss out on it, or knew that it would be a really nice present for someone, I would probably get it. But for the most part, even if I really like a kit, I'm holding off for the moment. My wish lists are getting quite large though. I made one purchase from Bella Art Diamonds. I got a couple of trays, large trays. I think I got one in, I want to say pink. Was it pink? I honestly can't remember now. I'm like looking at the trays over in the towers. I know one was a neon green. I'm trying to work out what the other colour was. It wasn't blue because I already had that one. Oh, it was like the burnt orange, sunset orange. It's one of their colour shifting ones. So it goes from like orange to red to a dark yellow, I think. Either way, it's a pretty colour. So I got those two trays. I also got a couple of their resin ornaments. They are snowflakes. And I know it's not Christmas now, and I have bought them very early for next year, but they match the colour scheme of my tree perfectly, and I knew I wouldn't get them in time for 2024 Christmas, because I'm obviously not in the US, so shipping takes longer, and then with delays at customs, because there's always delays over Christmas time, they were never getting to me for Christmas last year. So I thought, why not wait until the new year so I can get a couple of trays and get those ready for next year. And the other thing I got, which I've actually got here, is the 2025 diamond cover binder. So I have the last 3 years, so I feel like this is something I have to get each year now, but I do really like them as well. It's got a magnet built into this side, and then you can use it obviously as a cover binder if you get another magnet to put on the back. I do think that's about it for my catch up of January. I feel like I got quite a large area done. I know it's only 2 colours, I've not finished the diamond colour yet. I will do. It's quite fun to just work on it and talk, but I do need to get better at the working and talking at the same time. If you stayed with me this far, thank you so much. Make sure you check out the Wisdom World DP Along event if that's your thing, and let me know what kits you'll be working on for February and if you're going to be taking part in any events. That's pretty much all I've got for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.